For today's headline, Gordon denied seniors PWD COVID test discounts. Forces fortify security. Train tunnel starts soon. Ranking CCP leader nabbed in Bukidnon. Lawyer gunned down in South Cotabato. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles. Remittances up 2.6% in July. Road Warriors ready to play Sans Ravena. LPA spotted in Eastern Samar. Good morning, I am Roy Pelavelio and this is Tribune News on Q. Today, September 16, 2021, and these are the latest news this Thursday morning. With the Ombudsman and the Commission on Audit technically clearing several government officials of malfeasance in the purchase of medical equipment for pandemic response, it's likely the prober of these alleged shenanigans would soon be the target of charges related to his private role outside of public service. Overall Deputy Ombudsman Warren Leong insisted during the Congress hearing on Wednesday that nobody powerful from Malacanang meddled with the Budget Department's decision to award the purchase of billions worth of medical supplies to Pharmaceutical Corp. Leong also cleared Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo of involvement in the contract. COA Chair Michael Aguinaldo also maintained that there was no overpricing on the materials bought by the procurement service of the Department of Budget and Management or PSDBM at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic last year. His statement was delivered at the same House Committee on Good Government and Accountability hearing. Outside it, however, private lawyers reached Daily Tribune also on Wednesday to report on plans by citizens to file suits against the Philippine Red Cross or PRC and its chair and CEO Senator Richard Gordon over their alleged disregard of laws that should grant senior citizens and persons with disabilities discounts specifically on RT-PCR and saliva testing for COVID-19. Gordon's panel, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, is probing the same issues on the pandemic response purchases in the chamber. The government had warned Gordon and the Red Cross audited over public funds they received from the public coffers supposedly for its humanitarian programs. The country's security forces are not downplaying the terror warning aired this week by the Japanese government, with Philippine National Police Chief General Guillermo Ilazar on Wednesday ensuring the reports on possible attacks are being validated. After an initial assurance from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Philippine Coast Guard also said yesterday that it is treating the advice as a serious matter. Various security dry runs were also held yesterday in response to Japan's warning to its citizens to stay away from facilities owned by Western countries, religious services, and crowded places. Japan named the Philippines as a likely target, along with Thailand, Myanmar, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia, countries where terror cells with links to international religious extremist groups thrive. In an interview with the Daily Tribune morning show, Gising Na, Eliazar said he has tasked the PNP Directorate for Intelligence to validate the information. He added that the PNP has yet to receive formal confirmation on the intelligence report by the Japan Foreign Ministry. Government security forces, he said, will coordinate with Japanese counterparts to confirm the report. The PNP is also sharing information with the AFP to ensure the readiness against any possible attacks, he said. The Department of Transportation, or DOTR, on Wednesday said excavation works that would signal the start of the drilling for the country's first underground train line will start before the year end. According to the DOTR, lowering and assembly of the machines would also take about 2 to 3 months. Thus, The drilling would officially start in the first quarter of 2022. The DOTR targets to partially operate the first 4 stations of the Metro Manila subway project by the end of next year. The 34-kilometer subway will have 17 stations. It aims to cut travel time from North Avenue in Quezon City to the Ninoy Aquino International Airport from 1 hour and 10 minutes to just 35 minutes. It will traverse the cities of Valenzuela, Quezon City, Pasig, Makati, Taguig, Parañaque, and Pasay. Meanwhile, Transportation Undersecretary for Finance, Giovanni Lopez, has asked Congress to restore the fund for the service contracting program next year. Lopez said the DOTR has appealed $10 billion for it, but the Department of Budget and Management did not include the request in its 2022 National Expenditure Program. A ranking leader of the Communist Party of the Philippines, or CCP, with a 5.35 million bounty on her head, was arrested during a raid by security forces in Quezon, Bukidnon, authorities reported. Arrested was Loida Magpatok, member of the CCP Central Committee and a consultant of the National Democratic Front. The Northern Mindanao Regional Police and Army's 4th Infantry Division said in reports released Wednesday night. The 60-year-old Magpatok, who goes by the aliases Adelaida, Debyang, Emyang, Cudao, Gwen, and Robe, is also former secretary of the CCP's Far South Mindanao Regional Committee, they said. Members of the Regional Police Special Operations Unit and the Army's 88th Infantry Battalion carried out the arrest around 2 a.m. Wednesday in Purok 4, Barangay Paitan. They served an arrest warrant issued by the court in Bayugan City, Agusan del Sur, against Magpatok for robbery with 2 counts of homicide and damage to property, Regional Police Director Brigadier General Rolando Anduyan said. When Magpatok was brought to the Valencia City Police Station for detention, police learned that she also had a standing arrest warrant for rebellion issued by the court in Butuan City, so that she was also served to her, Anduyan said in a statement. Security forces earlier received information about Magpatok's whereabouts and acted on it, he added. Tribune News on Q will be back after these short reminders. We're back on Tribune News on Q. A lawyer died after being shot by still unidentified assailants in what is believed to be a job-related killing at his home in Soraya, South Cotabato, Wednesday afternoon, police reported. Attorney Juan Macababad succumbed to bullet wounds to different parts of the body, according to a report from the South Cotabato Provincial Police. Macababad, 68, was in front of his house in Zone 2B, Barangay Libertad, when 3 unidentified males shot him, the report said. Local police learned the incident from a concerned citizen about 5:30 p.m. and sent personnel to the area. Responding lawmen brought Macababad to the Soraya Community Hospital, but the attending physician declared him dead on arrival. Police also conducted a pursuit operation against the assailants, who were said to have fled towards Banga on 2 black motorcycles, but they were already nowhere to be found. Investigators found 5 empty shells from a caliber .45 gun, a deformed slug, a sachet of suspected shabu, and an orange envelope at the crime scene. The killing is believed to be job-related, as the victim received death threats from one of his clients weeks before the incident. the police report said. North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles into the sea on Wednesday, according to the South military, as China's foreign minister visited Seoul, and days after Pyongyang said it had successfully tested new long-range cruise missiles. The nuclear-armed North had fired 2 unidentified ballistic missiles from its central inland area into the sea off its east coast, Seoul's Joint Chief of Staff said in a statement. The launch came as Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Seoul for talks with his South Korean counterpart. Wednesday launches came days after the North official Korean Central News Agency reported that it had test-fired a new long-range cruise missile over the weekend, calling it a strategic weapon of great significance. Pictures in the Rodong Sinmun newspaper on Monday showed a missile exiting one of the 5 tubes on a launch vehicle in a ball of flame and a missile in horizontal flight. Such a weapon would represent a marked advance in North Korea's weapons technology, analysts said, better able to avoid defense systems to deliver a warhead across the South or Japan, both of them U.S. allies. The missiles fired at the weekend traveled 1,500 kilometers on 2-hour flight paths, including figure-of-8 patterns above North Korea and its territorial waters to hit their targets, according to KCNA. Remittances from overseas Filipino workers went up by 2.6% in July 2021. Latest data from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas showed the personal remittances of $3.16 billion translated to a 7-month high since the $3.20 billion in December 2020 and proved higher than the posted $2.93 billion in June 2021. The BSP traced the rise in personal remittances from inflows sent by land and sea-based workers with work contracts of less than 1 year, which expanded by 6.9%, along with those from land-based workers with work contracts of 1 year or more, which grew by 1.6% year-on-year. On a cumulative basis, personal remittances aggregated to $19.78 billion, representing a 6% growth from the $18.65 billion in the first 7 months last year. Similarly, OFW cash remittances coursed through banks rose by 2.5% to $2.85 billion in June 2021 from just $2.78 billion a year ago. Bulk, or 40.4% of the overall remittances, came from the United States, followed by Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Japan, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, Canada, South Korea, Qatar, and Taiwan. Combined remittances from these top country sources accounted for over 2/3, or 78.6%, of the aggregate cash remittances during the period, the central bank said. Nicolas Mapa, senior economist at the ING Bank, said the latest data came as a surprise as the market expected a pullback from last year's level. Nevertheless, the analyst said that the latest remittances data, which almost matched the December 2020 level, was the highest non-Christmas season level ever recorded and may continue to accelerate in the coming months. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
It's time for the world to know. Outstanding Filipinos in America. The 11th Outstanding Filipinos in America Awards 2021. A salute to the heroes of coronavirus. Coming back live in person at the Carnegie Hall in New York City, home of the TOFA Awards since 2011.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. With or without Kiefer Ravena, and Lex is ready to go out and compete in the 46th Philippine Basketball Association Philippine Cup. Road Warriors assistant coach Ford Arrow admitted that they are no longer expecting Ravena to rejoin them after he left for Japan to process some documents for his looming stint with the Shiga Lake Stars in the Japanese B-League. Multiple sources revealed to Daily Tribune that the 27-year-old playmaker is doubtful to return despite the promise he made to ranking PBA officials prior to his departure. Insiders said he is having problems due to the tight quarantine guidelines, prompting the Road Warriors to come up with an alternative game plan for the ongoing All-Filipino tournament. Arrow confirmed that the sources' claims, saying that they are ready to compete even without their leader. Ravena is just one of the 8 marquee players who will see action in the B-League. Also set to compete in the top-flight Japanese league as Asian imports are Ray Parks, Dwight Ramos, Kobe Paras, Ferdy Ravena, Juan and JV Gomez de Liano, and Kenmark Carino. If ever Ravena doesn't return, he is tipped to join the Lake Stars in their preseason campaign. He would also be around when the Lake Stars face his brother 30 and the San and Neo Phoenix in the back-to-back games on 2 and 3 October. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, on Thursday said that a low-pressure area is now being monitored. According to the Weather Bureau, LPA was estimated at 135 kilometers northeast of Guian, Eastern Samar, embedded in the Intertropical Convergence Zone affecting Palawan, Visayas, and Mindanao. Visayas, Mindanao, and the Bicol region will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, while Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Temperature will range from 24.8 degrees Celsius to 32.8 degrees Celsius. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Araneta Center, the Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Roy Pelovelio, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.